So there may be other times where the word cheating is used, but these are the times I could remember. So it's the time so when she tells her friend Annika and she uses, she says, Jeremiah cheated on me. And then Taylor uses the word cheating. And then also Conrad does too. The Conrad one is more iffy because I don't know. Well, again, like it doesn't matter if they were on a break or not. But I don't know if Conrad knows about the break thing, but he hears what happened and he immediately is like, yeah, Jeremiah cheated on you, which is interesting. So like we're interpreting it as cheating. But anyway, I'll play those moments from the book.
I went ahead and said it. Jeremiah cheated on me. Annika sank onto the bed. Shut the front door, she breathed. When? With who? With Lacey Barone, that girl in his sister sorority, during spring break when we were broken up. She nodded, taking this in. I'm so mad at him, I said, for hooking up with another girl and then not telling me all this time. Not telling me is the same as lying. I feel so stupid. Annika handed me the box of tissues on her desk. Girl, you let yourself feel whatever you need to feel, she said. I blew my nose. I feel like maybe I don't know him like I thought I did. I feel like I can't trust him ever again. Keeping a secret like that from the person you love is probably the worst part, Annika said. You don't think the actual cheating is the worst part? No, I mean, yeah, that is horrible, but he should have just told you. Do you think he'll take him back? I was surprised and really relieved not to hear any judgment in her voice. What would you do? I asked her. It's up to you. I know, but would you take him back? Under ordinary circumstances, no. If some guy cheated on me while we were on a break, if he so much as looked at another girl, no, he'd be donezo. She chewed on her straw. I have to tell you something. Something in his voice scared me. What? Looking out at the ocean, he said, Jared cheated on you when he was in Cabo. That wasn't what I expected him.
You know what I realized that's really sad, and again, maybe I'm just slow, but Conrad and Belly actually have the exact same level of insecurity, or the same amount of insecurity about themselves. Or self-esteem, actually, I should say, not insecurity. Well, insecurity, but that's a different issue. Their level of self-esteem is very similar, very similar. And so, if you were to tell one of them, a compliment, be like, you're so beautiful, you're so intelligent, oh my god, you're so smart, you're so clever, any of those things, both of them would read the compliment, but then turn around and be like, are you talking to me? Not trust that it was about them, or just be not being able to receive it, because that's the level of self-esteem, how, not me, possibly. And that's almost what led to their downfall, their level of self-esteem, and that it was both low. Because I haven't really thought about it too much, but maybe I should do a video on it. But both of them are they're anxious attachment, which that is not a good combo. If anybody knows attachment styles, oh it's a fatal combo. Anxious attachment. Maybe he's arguably avoidant. Arguably, he could slip into that, but I think for the most part they're both anxious attachment, which so in that sense, inevitably they were going to break up, because in some way, shape, form or another, one of them was going to be I'm not good enough, you deserve better, or whatever it is. I think him more than her, but definitely her too. There's that's why she so easily believed him when he walked away from her. Just say that it's over. She jumped to that conclusion so easily because she's anxious attachment. That's very hard to say together. But anyway, so that's sad. And it's just really sad to me. I mean, it's sad, but it's interesting to think about, and think about what they then need to do in order to come back together, if that's their one of their key issues. But then obviously communication is for him another key issue. But yeah, their level of self-esteem is very similar, which is so sad. It's so sad because they love each other so much, and they fully accept the other. They don't expect the other to I mean, you want your partner to, you want to, as Steven said, Conrad challenges Belly, but Belly challenges Conrad too, to get out of his comfort zone, to be a kid again, to be silly, all those sorts of things. So you want to be able to challenge your partner and be a facilitator to your partner's growth, but at the same time, like, fully accept your partner. And I think these two, that's them. They accept one another, but they don't accept themselves, which is the sad part. Anyway, this is a bummer of a thing. We'll get there. We'll get there. They'll learn about self-esteem. You know, she'll go to Spain or France or wherever the fuck, and, like, he'll learn without her. He needs to have worth or whatever. But anyway, I just wanted to share that because I was thinking about it. Poor little babies.
No, because the first time that I saw this, when Belly went up and asked Jer, why didn't you kiss me? I thought it was crazy behavior. It just seemed kind of like desperate, and the timing of it was so bad. Like, they were literally in front of Conrad. I really respect Jer for saying that they're too old for that. But after thinking about this a little bit more, I actually understand why Belly went up for Jer. She really just wanted some validation. Let's get into a couple of the things that we've seen from Belly this season and how this kind of comes full circle. In this season and in Belly's past year, she's just experienced a lot of different types of rejection from people that she loves, or even things that she loves that like help make up her identity. In the first episode, Belly and her mom get in a fight together, and Laurel tells her that she's really disappointed in how she's been acting in the past year. I think even though Belly doesn't like outwardly say and show how much she loves her mom, they are just so similar that I think like deep down, Belly really internalizes whatever her mom says about her. So this one probably hurt her a lot. We have the guidance counselor like not so nicely telling her that her grades are not even good enough for her to go to a state college. We know that Belly is not like the best student, but I feel like having a brother like Steven, where academic success comes so naturally and easily for him, she probably thinks that that should kind of happen for her too. Okay, then we have the worst one of all, when Conrad rejected her at the funeral, saying that she needs to grow up and telling her that he never should have started a relationship with her. Belly's already insecure by nature, so I think that hearing this from the person that she thought really loved her and saw her for who she was just cut so deeply. And they haven't talked since the funeral, so this is what Belly thinks Conrad still has in his mind about her. Okay, then cut to Jeremiah. Belly and him are such good friends. They have such a close bond. Once they actually had a conversation and worked things out, it went back to normal and they became friendly and kind of like went back to their old ways so quickly. All it took was this scene for them to kind of fight and like get their words out, and then everything was fine. Like, they're working together, they have banter again, they're sharing things about their year. In Belly's eyes, Jeremiah is easily accepting her, and she's really loving that validation from him. She even promised Jeremiah that she would go to this volleyball camp, so when she gets this rejection from her coach, which is so cruel, by the way, this just immediately dug up feelings of rejection for Belly that she's used to. And so instead of like sitting with it and not knowing what to do, she went to Jeremiah, who has been validating her for the past couple of days. They're friends again. He knows what to say when she's sad, and she wants to go get additional validation from him. It's definitely a selfish move on Belly's part because of everything that she's going through. She's absolutely not ready to start a relationship with Jeremiah, and it's wrong for so many other reasons too. But I'm glad that Jeremiah stuck up for himself. This man is seriously irking me, and the way that he acted in the last episode really got me thinking. I was chatting with my new friend Jessica about this situation. I'm going to tag her here because she has such interesting takes on all of the different characters. We were talking about how Jeremiah's behavior throughout the seasons has been so two-faced. We all remember the firecracker scene, and he looked so smug and happy with himself after he did that. And the next day we saw how happy Conrad was for the first time all summer, and Jeremiah convinced Nicole to take him to a music festival so that he could make sure that Belly and Conrad were not spending time together. Take a look at how quickly his temper can change.
It's not like my mom has cancer or anything.
Jer, I didn't want to hurt you. You're
Last episode, we hear Conrad tell Steven that he doesn't want to leave Brown and go to Stanford because he doesn't want to leave Jer. Meanwhile, Jeremiah is agreeing with his estranged cousin that Conrad is an asshole.
He's grown into quite the asshole.
You have no idea.
He didn't pick Belly up to go to Brown when they were looking for Conrad, which in the show I think makes sense, but since they did it in the books, I feel like it was a deliberate choice to leave it out. The way I see this, it's like a death by a thousand cuts situation. When you just look at one thing, it doesn't look that bad. But when you look at the entire situation holistically and all the ways that he's manipulated people in his life just to get closer to Belly, it makes me look at him in a different light. In my mind, there are really no teams because Conrad is the only option for Belly. And I'm ready to embrace the new scenes with Belly and Jeremiah because I think she needs to go through new experiences so that she can learn and grow until her and Conrad find each other again. Jeremiah literally told Belly this in the first episode when he said, "I was just a distraction while you waited for Conrad." And Susanna also told her this.
You'll find your way back to each other eventually.
And let's not forget that the literal root of Jeremiah's interest in Belly is because he's jealous of Conrad and he wants to beat him at something, and he sees Belly as that competition.